Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. What the Beck. Today we are going to be using this handmade soap kit, and I have actually had this for a while. I got this at Goodwill for $7 and it was a couple months ago, so this has been up on my shelf. You might have seen it in my desk and room tour video where I said it would be a video soon. Well, it wasn't soon, but here it is. I wanted to mention that this soapy business is pretty popular on YouTube around the time that I bought this. I don't know about so much now, but I was really inspired by Royalty Soaps and Katie's business selling creative artisanal soaps. And yeah, so just wanted to mention her. Check her out. She actually has several employees now at her business that she started herself, and they are hilarious because they are her brother and husband, and they have really good chemistry together, so whenever they make a video it's really funny. But yeah, check them out and let's get into this. So the first thing that I noticed, it says all natural, and Katie always warns about the natural label because there is no like official legal definition of natural. So I guess in this case, since you decide what goes into the soap, you can make it natural to your definition. I don't really care about that all too much. I'm all for sustainability, but I don't really care if I eat chemicals or whatever. So I don't really care if chemicals are cleaning my body. But yeah, this says it includes materials and instructions for over 25 soaps, plus gift boxes and packaging inspiration. So yeah, let's flip it over and see if there's any more info on the back. It says it includes 15 natural recipes for aromatherapy soaps made with ingredients from your kitchen and garden. Stop right here. I have read the book previously before filming to see approximately how long this would take, and some of the things that they say I already have in my kitchen and garden I don't have because I live in an apartment, so I really was only able to make one of two recipes that I had all the ingredients for, and you'll see which one that's for in a minute. So they basically just list some of the different types you can make and say that they're good for gifts, and you also have packaging included, so maybe we'll get into that as well. And then inside you have clear soap base, white soap base, molds, soap pigments, mixing and measuring spoons, and 5 gift boxes. And it is made by Becker and Meyer, which is hilarious because I'm Beck. Get out of here. So let's just open it up. It's heavy, I forgot. So this is what it looks like on the inside. There are no loose instructions in the box, and I have put a bookmark in here to see what all there is. So let's just take everything out. Looks like these are the molds. Ooh, I see bees. I'm definitely using the bee molds because I love bees. My bullet journal has bees on it right now because I love them. And then in here is the base. And then there doesn't seem to be anything else in this. Okay, so we have our materials, and let's just look at the instruction booklet. Okay. Well, this is the one that I bookmarked, and it's Earl Grey because that's my favorite tea, so that's the tea I had on hand at my house. But in the beginning, let's see what it says. Okay, so this is basically just selling the kit totally. Like, this is 15 approachable natural recipes, and it's simple and you can do it. And then it goes over what they have in the kit again. This is actually a very aesthetically pleasing page in my opinion, and it says other materials, so it shows examples of things you could use and some things that you are gonna want to use here. So this is what I am kind of lacking right now, a glass measuring cup, and I knew they didn't include one. Like I said before, I had a peek into the kit before. That would have been helpful if they like included a little cup, but I understand that glass is kind of dangerous and harder to protect than like a block of soap, so I'll have to find one that I can use for myself. Microwave, spray bottle with rubbing alcohol. I don't have rubbing alcohol, so whatever that's supposed to prevent, I'm sorry Katie, but I don't remember what that prevents. But my soap is gonna have it anyway because haha, I don't have that in my house. Okay, and then it also says that sometimes natural ingredients can be irritating to sensitive skin, so to do a test. My skin is not sensitive, so I'm not worried about that at all. Okay, and then here's some tips and techniques, another really aesthetically pleasing page, and some more tips, and packaging ideas for if you give them as gifts. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna just use this for myself and use the gift wrapping for other small gifts, because I have been using hotel sample soap, and I have one special soap that I actually bought from Royalty Soaps, which I'm saving until my birthday to use. But yeah, I'm needing some soap, so I'm gonna be using these for myself. And then it says, like, if you want to change up the recipes from the book, this is how much of each ingredient that you want to add that you would include in the recipe. So I'm not doing that today. Okay, and then here starts the actual recipes that they give you. We're going to be making this one, but I wanted to say, like, the only other one that I could have made, I think it was right after here, was the salt one, because you literally just add salt. And I mean, it's still soap, it's still gonna work, but like, I didn't have a ton of spices besides, like, I don't know, like, my roommate really likes hot sauce and spicy, like, hot spices, which I don't, and I don't have just dried flowers hanging around, so I couldn't do several of these. Like, this one you'd have to go out and buy a sponge in the first place, which I wasn't looking to do because I already bought the kit, you know. But yeah, so we're going to be making Earl Grey soap with sugar added. So let's get into this. Materials: 1 cube of white glycerin soap base, 1/8 of a teaspoon of Earl Grey tea leaves, 1/8 of a teaspoon whole milk, and a pinch of sugar. So that's the only one I had like all the ingredients for besides the salt one. So step 1, I need a measuring cup, so I will be right back. Okay, so this was the only glass container I could find in our house. We moved in like 2 months ago, and some of the stuff is still not unpacked, but I know for a fact all of our kitchen stuff is. But we did have a smaller kitchen before we moved here, so we don't really have baking supplies. I would love to have some. Mom, if you're watching, for Christmas, maybe something with glass with a spout for baking would be awesome. But this is all I have for now. It's just a glass sugar container with the label still on it, but whatever, we're gonna be using this. So step 1, place the cube of soap base into a glass measuring cup and microwave on high for 20 seconds until it begins to melt. Okay, is the cube like one whole piece? I'm just gonna use one whole piece. Wow, that was loud. Take these out. Okay, so we're using the white one. A cube, I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm just gonna use one block. They're not technically cubes geometrically, but you know, I'm gonna use one. I don't know if I should cut this up a little bit so it will melt faster. I can't break it in half with my hands, so I'm just gonna put that in there and then. So we're gonna do that until it begins to melt, stir it and heat it until it's melted, remove it, and then place it on the counter. Okay, and then the very first part of step 2 says make sure you have your other ingredients prepared and the mold's ready. So we're gonna do that because they should have told us to do that first before we melted it if they wanted us to have it ready, but you know, that's what I'm gonna do now. So we need to have these things pre-measured, and they're gonna be added into here. So let's see. Sugar is only a little bit, and that's in this. Ooh. Well, that just got sugar everywhere, but I have sugar in the other sugar container that I can have on standby over here. So we need a pinch of sugar, a little tiny bit of milk, 1/8 of a teaspoon of Earl Grey tea leaf. So I'm gonna open this up. This is the tea packet. I'm not sure how small 1/8 of a teaspoon is. I'm not gonna add the whole thing because I know that's way too much, but I'm going to just cut this open. And then, I don't know, I guess I'll put this and the sugar into the lid of the sugar container. That way I can just dump it in there. We'll see. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'll just put some, move it. I'll put some into here. I would rather add a little bit more than necessary than not enough, because I really like the smell and it would be cool if it actually smells like that. And then the sugar, it says only a pinch, so I guess I'm gonna put a pinch. And now that's in there. And then the other thing it needs is milk, which I'll bring over after I microwave this. So I'm gonna bring this. Oh, and I also have to set up the mold. So I'm not sure how much this is gonna melt down to. I know for a fact that I want the bee mold, but I'm just gonna lay all of these out beforehand in case I need them all. There's the 3 of them. They're pretty focused on being like natural things like bugs and leaves and shells and hearts. I don't know. So I'm gonna go microwave this and I will be back. Forgot my spoon. Yeah. I'm filming a video where I need milk. I can move it. Okay, so it turns out that it melted in the initial 20 seconds. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients now because it melted entirely, which is actually kind of nice because I'd rather have it melt a little before I expect than later. Oh, that looks kind of gross, but we're gonna mix it up and then pour it in. I don't think I want to color this one just because it's the first one, but I might make another batch and then we can do that. So the first one I want to do is the bee. Whoa. Okay, that one actually went pretty well. And then I'll just continue doing the rest of this mold for now. My mom is actually... Yes?
I need milk for my breakfast.
Come get it. Just take it. Do you want to be cut out of the audio or no?
I'm gonna let you decide what works.
Okay. And then we'll do, I don't know, do the shell. And that looks like it's gonna fill it up most of the way. This circle one is kind of shrinking, so. It's kind of difficult because of the container, but that's not the kit's fault, that's my fault. And yeah, that was easy. I think I'm gonna make up another batch and try to use the colorant. And so let's read how to do that, and I will put these aside. Well, at least this one because it's full. Okay. So these are supposed to cool for 45 minutes or put them in the freezer. This time I'm gonna use the clear base because I think that will show the color in a cooler way. And I'm gonna use the green one. We have basically like a magenta, red, and green. I'm gonna use green because that's my favorite color. I'm gonna use the clear base. And I'm not gonna clean this out just because like I feel like that would be a waste because you can still get the remaining soap from the container. So let's do that. We're gonna put our dry ingredients into this again, like so. And then I'm actually not going to use milk because my roommate needed it. Pinch of salt, kind of an imprecise measurement, but whatever. And then let's see how you're supposed to use the colorant bar. Okay, adding color to your soap base. You can use food coloring or the color chips included. To use the included ones, you cut a piece off with a knife, a sharp knife, and stir it into the melted soap base until you reach the desired color. Basically, I'm going to do this same thing over again, microwave for 20 seconds, and then I will add the color. You know, maybe I will make these for gifts because they're kind of cute. And I mean, the molds are, I was thinking of giving the molds to my sister because she does baking, but I don't think you can use food on them after you put soap into them. These are already starting to solidify, if you can see that. It's kind of turning white again. The bottom is still very hot and wet though, so I'm not going to move it around too much. But I'm going to go microwave this for 20 seconds. I'm going to omit the milk, and I'll come back with a sharp knife and we will turn it green. Okay, I'm back. We're going to add in our dry ingredients quickly. I don't know how fast this is set up in here. Then I got my shitty knife, and we're gonna, I don't know, I kind of want a pretty saturated color, so I'm gonna put a fair bit of the green. We'll start with that and stir it up and see if that works. This container is not good for this. It's like too tall. Doesn't seem to be melting very fast. And that is definitely not as dark of a color as I wanted, so I'm gonna add some more. Can I also say that I love this tiny ass spoon that they gave me? Ugh. Thank you. It's just so cute. It's got a leaf on the scoop because it's natural thing. It might actually be cool to like pour it into the mold with the chunks in it, and then they will like show up in the soaps, but I don't know. I'm gonna try to melt it all the way. Okay, so we're gonna start with the leaves because leaves are green most of the time. Some of the time, I don't know. Leaves come in many different colors, and pour that into here. It's really not that saturated, so I think I'm gonna add more color and microwave it again, and then I'll come back. I'm probably just gonna add this whole thing because I want it to be essentially this color, and I don't think it's gonna get there if I only put a little bit more, so I'll be back. You'll never guess what happened. I kind of heated the soap up too fast, and it didn't explode really, but it did spill in the microwave, so I have to go clean that up after I pour this. Luckily it is soap, so it's not that big of a deal because it'll just wash right out, but you know, still not a fan of making a mess. I'm gonna pour this into one of these tiny boys as well, if it wants to come out. I know, baby, I'm upset too. Can't control my own strength of the soap. Okay, that one's kind of a disaster, so we're gonna disown him. I'm gonna leave these. I decided I'm not doing the salt one because I want to go clean everything up, including this, which exploded. And I will come back in 45 minutes and we will take a look at them. Okay, so when I tried to wash the glass out, it broke like this. This is actually the bottom, and then this is the piece that fell off. So, yes, use actual bakeware and glass things that are designed for this, and not a flimsy little thing that, if it's heated up, will break. Yeah, okay, goodbye. It is 45 minutes later. Whoa, here are my soaps, and the instruction manual basically just says, wow, that's loud, to press on the back of the mold to release them. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna flip it over. I don't know. Pressing kind of hard actually. Doesn't seem to want to come out. I don't want to like destroy the integrity of the mold. Come out. This is a safe space. Okay, I think this is coming out. Let's see. Oh wait, I think that released it. Kind of. There's a little dragonfly soap. Cute. Okay, I'm gonna take the rest of these out and then get some pretty shots of them all. This is kind of hard to get out. Like, I don't know if the mold is just too hard and not flexible enough. I don't know if I should have put them in the freezer. The booklet did say you can put it in the freezer to make it go faster, but I was not pressed for time, so I didn't. Maybe it's just that shape of mold. Like, I don't want to break the mold, but it doesn't seem to want to come out. These three, my thumbs are gonna hate me. I'm gonna like put my sweater on as a barrier. I don't know, it's not working. I want them to come out because I want the green ones. Green is my favorite color. That does not seem to want to come out, so I'm gonna knife it. I mean, it didn't say to like prime the mold with anything. The rubbing alcohol, which I thought was for that, is actually to avoid having bubbles on the top part. But I didn't care about that, so it wasn't a necessary ingredient. Okay, there we go. I might just have to loosen up a side of it to get them out. Okay, get out. You are not welcome here anymore. It's kind of warping it, which is sad. Like, it kind of got a dip in the middle. I don't know if you can see that. This mold might be destroyed, and I mean, there are still other molds left. We have the 2 molds left over, but like, come on. It should not be this hard to get them out. I feel like it's kind of beside the point to take this one out. I'll probably do it later, but I have to go somewhere today, so I'm gonna just ignore this one for now, except for the fact that the tea leaves have settled into like the branch patterns, which looks pretty cool. But yeah, that one's gonna go to the side for now. So this is our collection. I'll see if I can zoom in. This is our collection of soaps. The bee one is still my favorite, and anything that was like more intricate than like a shape with a little piece in it was like really hard to get out. Like, these two have the little lines in them, and this one was difficult as well, and these two. So I don't know if it's just that the molds were not made with thin enough plastic to make it easy to get out, but yeah. So we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I have this little tiny one. So 9 out of 2 batches. They give you enough for 6 batches. We used 2 out of the 6. We made 9 with 2. So it would be 9 times 3 is 27. So their estimate of 25 soaps with the included materials is about accurate, depending on which soaps you use. Obviously, they're all different sizes and shapes. You could probably make about 30 of these if you want to reheat your soap and wait that long to only make little tiny ones. But yeah, So that's about accurate, and I think I want to do a lather test. So I'm going to take one of these into the bathroom and I will show you some sexy hand washing footage where we see if it lathers up and if it smells good. So the soap lathered up pretty nicely, it worked. It didn't really smell like anything though, besides like the soap smell. It didn't smell like tea, which was a little bit disappointing. My phone also fell into the sink at some point, which was not fun. So I kind of want to wrap this up with my basic experience. The retail on the box says $15 and I got it for $7, so that's about half the price. And the box does say to use craft store materials when you run out, so it's not like they're trying to restrict you to using their own product, which is kind of nice. They give pretty good information about what you can add in and what measurements you should use in the booklet, which is nice. But they don't really understand that not everyone just has random dried up flowers at their house, and their definition of household things is a little bit off from what mine is. It was a beginner friendly kit, which was nice, and each block made a pretty decent amount of soaps and their estimate was correct. And the booklet itself was pretty cute and aesthetically pleasing to just flip through and look at all the different recipes. I wish they had included more colorants because I am a rainbow person. I love rainbows, and they only really gave us 3 colors and they weren't really that saturated. So if they had found a way to put more colors that were more saturated, I would have appreciated that. The mold was really hard to like take out, so like I couldn't take the soaps out easily. And I don't know if that's because I used the colorant on those specific ones or if the plastic was too hard or something like that. Might have been because I didn't put milk in it, but milk wasn't necessarily an ingredient in all of the soap, so I don't see how that was an issue. And their definition of like the sugar pinch kind of annoyed me because they had like an exact definition for the tea, but the sugar was like, just put a pinch, which is not that exact. And I think the final thing is they should have put the steps in order, because they basically have you doing the most intense part first and then they tell you to have your ingredients ready, which should typically be the first step because you need to get your ingredients ready and then you do that. I did have a few little hiccups along the way, breaking the glass and having it explode in the microwave, but that wasn't the kit's fault at all. And another thing I wanted to mention is whoever owned this kit before me has taken the boxes out, so I'm not looking at those. Though they are cute in the little booklet, I don't really have them to look at and give a review, so I'm just gonna ignore those. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I hope you like this video. I have some more craft kits that I can try, so if you want to see some more videos of those, let me know and I will make them. But I will see you in my next video. But until then, bye.